Good evening. My name is Rochelle Crump. I am president and founder of the National Women Veterans United. And this evening, we're going to thank you for calling in, if you will, to 312-738-1060. We want to hear from you tonight. We're also going to give you information about, as you know, Memorial Day is very close on May 27th. That is Monday, May 27th. And also, the Memorial Day Parade is coming up on Saturday, May 25th. So, we're going to give you some information about those events, and we hope that you will consider coming out to join us in many, many ways for recognition of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as those who basically are standing in defense of this nation, still wearing a uniform. Armed Forces Day is on Friday, the 20th. Let us not forget them. And then let us not forget the families of those who have departed. The National Women Veterans United is hosting all of these Memorial Day programs, and I'll go to them in just a minute, but I want to make sure that you have information that is going to benefit your community, and also that we continue to recognize those who serve. Our organization is located at 7907 South Racine in Chicago, Illinois, and we are the proud, I said, women veterans who served in all branches of service, peacetime, wartime, and also we have many of those who support us, like those who are at the phone today waiting for your call. Letty Butler, we want to give her a shout out, and she wants to hear from you too at 312-738-1060. So if you have a shout out that you'd like to recognize a veteran or a family who is waiting for their loved one to come home from the military, who may be deployed and or still serving abroad somewhere in the United States, please, let's give them a shout out. Let's not forget all of their services as well as the sacrifices that they're making while all of us are here at home. So many times we forget those families, and we want to make sure that they know that they're not being left out. And I also want to bring your attention to many programs that are taking place. Yesterday was On the Table. City of Chicago hosted that around the city of Chicago. It was a great event. Unfortunately, the National Women Veterans was not able to have theirs this year, but we certainly applaud those who continue to have those discussions about just everything. And particularly, those who care about this city and who want to make sure that our veterans are being taken care of, that our health care initiatives are being, reviewed. And there's a new packet coming out, and they're supposed to release that in June, they being the Department of Veterans Affairs, and it's called the Mission Act. And that Mission Act is somewhat what people call private of the VA. But when you look at things, if in fact you're traveling far, far away from where you live, and there's a long waiting list, in which there is waiting time at the VA, but we're not going to touch on that today. But there are waiting times in the VA, and if you can go to a private hospital that's near you, or a clinic, I mean, that's a plus. We all hate to depart from the veterans care, but at some point we have to look into what's better: comprehensive healthcare services, and or waiting long waits and complaining about the long waits when we can go other places. So, those are some of the things that we talk about. We know that the VA is challenged with community involvement in terms of the number of veterans that they see on a daily basis. So, we'd rather have excellent care than to have the we'll get to you later care. And so if you want to give us a call and you have an opinion on that, 312-738-1060. Letty and I would love to hear from you. And so, the National Women Veterans has the only Women Veterans Center in the state of Illinois. And in that center, we have lots of activities, and we're actually pushing for more activities as we develop and go into our 15th year next year of serving the community women veterans, and those who are homeless, disabled, and who are coming home from deployment. transitioning from the military to civilian status. A lot of people think that veterans have a lot of benefits and they're taken care of. Well, that is not necessarily so. And we continue to monitor that system as well as the VA Benefits Office that provides uh, uh, the disability compensation for them when they come home if they're injured, have disabilities, whether they're physical or mental. And then we continue to monitor the service that we get, the service delivery of the VA, and that's very important as we continue to see many who are committing suicide. Just 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, another veteran killed himself at the Ohio, I believe it was, Cleveland Medical Center, and what a tragedy, and our heart bleeds heavily for those who are still struggling and challenged with mental health issues and challenges that don't make them whole. And we have to do better in the community. We have to do better in the VA. And part of doing better is not just closing our doors at 4 o'clock, but also for the government to support organizations that are in the community that basically can offer, some services, whether it's camaraderie and not necessarily those organizations that have a bar, but those organizations that are doing good things that help. And not that they're not doing things when they have a bar, but I think sometimes that gets in the way of veterans who come home who may be struggling with those challenges, then that's the last thing they need to come to is a place where they're selling alcohol a lot of times. So, but I know that's the nature of the beast for the organizations to, get revenue and such. But, we want to encourage them to do more of service delivery when they come home and when they engage with the VA and not necessarily have to hold everything in the bar area. So, they do a lot of things with youth, the Girl Scout, Boy Scout as well. And National Women Veterans United does the same thing. We have a Girl Scout unit, and we want to give a shout out to Troop 20702 and Miss Diane Asbury, our leader for those Girl Scouts. And so I want to show you now information about the weekend of Memorial Day, beginning on Saturday, which is not on this particular slide, but Saturday, May the 25th, that is the Memorial Day Parade. Whacker down State Street, come out and support the city of Chicago and the veterans and military servicemen and women and the Gold Star families to recognize those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. The parade kicks off at 12 noon. Prior to that, in the Daily Plaza, they will have a wreath ceremony. A lot of top brass officials will be there, including the mayor and other dignitaries, come out and support this city on their behalf of supporting men and women who serve. And then we have on Monday, all of these are on Memorial Day, and National Women Veterans United will be covering each of them. Not only did we prepare programs and getting, others involved, but this is what we do. This is our sacrifice that we make. We give back, because we're part of that process. We're part of the product that serves. And so we never leave a veteran behind. And so we want to join with the city of Chicago and others in different cities to honor those. So we'll have Oakwood Cemetery at 1035 East 67th Street. It will begin at 10:30 a.m. It will end at 12 noon. And Mayor Harold Washington is also laid to rest there. And so the American Legion, Harold Washington Post 1987 will be joining us there to lay a wreath. The Buffalo Troopers, the Motorcycle Club will be there. Various organizations will be there as well. Attorney Anesta Borges will be the keynote address there. And again, it will be from 10:30 to 12 p.m. at 1035 East 67th Street in Chicago. At Lincoln Cemetery at 11 o'clock through 12:30 p.m. at 12300 South Kedzie. Their program will feature Cliff Kelly, the radio governor for WVON America's Heroes Group. Will be a part of that as well, and that's who he's representing at Lincoln Cemetery, and also they will acknowledge the 100th centennial of the American Legion George L. Giles Post. Their 100th year anniversary is in August, and so they felt like this was a time also just to make that known and to recognize them while they have their unit together. And then at Oakland Memory Lanes at 1 o'clock, there with 1 to 2:30 at 15200 Lincoln Avenue in Dalton, we will have Mr. Pass, commander of the DAV out in Indiana, Post 17, Bob Carnegie will be the keynote address at that particular facility. And again, that is at 15200 Lincoln Avenue, so we want to make sure that you get that information. And then at 11 o'clock, the Evergreen Cemetery will host it at 11 a.m. to 12:30, and that address is 3401 West 87th Street in Evergreen Park. Sean Claiborne, who's also a part of the America's Heroes group, will be the address at that facility. And then lastly, the National Women Veterans United invites all to join us at Restvale Cemetery at 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. at 1700 South Laramie Avenue in Alsip, to honor and remember Simone Robinson, whose daughter we mentor, Nazia Wilson. We will be joining her as she tells, her story about her mom. She was 2 years old when her mom did not make it back from Afghanistan from injuries that she sustained there when they hit an IED. And so these are open to the public. It's co-hosted by the National Women Veterans United and Dignity Memorial Cemeteries. And so again, we want to encourage you to come out, join us to remember the sacrifices on Memorial Day, service, honor, and legacy. These are community events. We hope that you will join us at the Oakwood Cemetery, Lincoln Cemetery, Oakland Memory Lanes, Evergreen Cemetery, and Restvale. And then we also want to remind you to go to our website at www.nwvu.org. That stands for the National Women Veterans United, where you will find this information as well as other information about the work that we're doing. And in addition, we want to remind you, if in fact you have not checked to see if your representative in Congress has signed on H.R. 96, the dental care bill, please, please, please join us in having the campaign to move where it should be so that veterans can not only receive health care but receive dental care. That's what we refer to as comprehensive. It's not comprehensive if it does not cover all health care initiatives. So that's H.R. 96. Make sure your legislator is on that bill. In addition to that, the National Women Veterans United has picked up a dental program. The name of that is the Veterans Services, Veterans Smiles, and that is for veterans who have not received any health care insurance and can't get dental care by the VA. There is an opportunity for them to receive free dentures from some reputable dental programs. They just need to follow up with the National Women Veterans United. If they go to our website, they'll see it there. Also, if you know of anyone in the Rockford area, we have another chapter in Rockford. They can get the information from there as well. You can also Google it. That's Veterans Smiles. And, we want to help veterans to smile. So, again, that is the Veterans Smiles. And we hope that you will pass that information on, as well as we want to give a shout out to the YMCA of Metropolitan, the Urban Warriors, for the work that they're doing with youth. Youth safety and violence prevention programs. They will be doing a tour at the National Women Veterans United this weekend. They mentor them. They're helping them to grow, helping them to learn various things about employment. It's a program training by veterans. Veterans are a part of this initiative. And it doesn't get any better than that when you can share the leadership skills and the guidance that they learned while they were in the military, and we all learned that one way or the other. So again, we want you to please join us for the Memorial Day Parade on Saturday, May 25th, and then on Monday at all of the cemeteries there will be some fashion of Memorial Day service, and we hope that you will come out and join it. We're the National Women Veterans United. We're located at 7907 South Racine in Chicago. Our web address is www.nwvu.org. Our phone number is 872-731-2150, and the email address is nwvu.org@gmail.com. My name is Rochelle Crump, proud Army veteran, signing off as the president of the National Women Veterans. And kudos to Letty for showing up to help us with this day.